What's a fast shit? We all know what a fascist is, but what's a fast shit? Now, this came from my idea and realization that was spoken about a long time ago during Winston Churchill's time when the fascists will identify themselves as anti-fascist. So basically, they will mirror being a fascist
can simply be dismissed on that basis. It is not necessary to explain why or investigate further.
to fight fascism.
For the rest, whether or not we like to admit it, we tend to outsource our critical thinking to the crowd. We base our view of truth on whatever people are saying at the moment, and if enough people say something, it seems credible to us. Number two, if you're explaining, you're losing. One of the reasons fascists love misinformation so much is that when you debunk it, even when you're right, it makes you look suspicious. Because the more you have to explain yourself, the less credible you appear to people.
I don't need to explain the illogic or the hate modality behind this. I don't need to explain how
It's a meme, didn't you know? It's ironic. Actually,
hypocritical this is. So let's just get into what a fast shit is. All right.
you don't need to explain why that hate is bad. It is generally understood that hate, in and of itself, is a bad thing.
A fast shit, a performatively anti-fascist individual
To do that, it makes you look bad when you describe what they're doing.
who, though unchecked hatred,
How if their whole goal is to waste your time with bad faith nonsense to deliberately frustrate and confuse you, how you don't need to let them do that.
unexamined ideology and refusal to self-reflect engages in the very behaviors of fascism under the illusion of fighting it.
Gleefully. Luckily for us, they're also cowards. They have to be, right? A brave person would simply confront their problems instead of becoming a fascist about them. Furthermore, by an amazing coincidence, whatever they decide is true will always be whatever's most useful for their political project.
The name denotes both their behavior and their disingenuous moral positioning.
If their reasoning can be shown to be wrong, and it always can, it doesn't matter.
Or traits. Self-justified hatred.
They can't do nothing about it. Fascists are haters.
They cannot name or explain their hatred, only claim moral superiority. Dehumanizes others in the name of justice.
Can simply be dismissed on that basis. It is not necessary to explain why or investigate further.
Suppresses dissent, not based on harmful ideology, but neurodivergent or structural thinking.
Fascism is syncretic. It takes ideas and concepts from multiple sources and tries to synthesize them into a broad, sweeping set of principles that they can apply backwards in time.
What is recursive ethics? Since ThoughtSlime said that I'm a fascist because I teach ethics,
Contradicts their own stated values, e.g. calls for compassion but uses mob tactics and mockery.
When they're doing the exact same thing, except that instead of insulting one individual Amanda, they're instead insulting entire categories of Amanda.
Refuses dialogue or feedback, often blocking or ridiculing the disabled or complex thinkers. Uses mimetic warfare to erase nuance and reinforce groupthink. Believes they cannot be the fascists because of identity and performance, e.g. leftist, queer, anti-capitalist. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so.
There is nothing a fascist hates more than other people observing them and describing their behavior.